look at example 2. So in example 2, we have, let's say we have this, our initial cash outlay. If you see negative, it means that is the amount of money we are going to invest. That is what it means. All right. So we have our year end cash inflow or cash flow. We have 1, 2, 3. So we have determined the payback period. So like we did earlier on. So here our payback period. First of all, you ask question, are we dealing with a constant annual cash inflow or uneven? So this is not a constant annual cash inflow. You see, they are different. So year 1 we are expecting a cash inflow of 200. Year 2 we are expecting 400, and then year 3 we are expecting what? 600. So remember we said the formula is 1. Your payback period is equal to 1 year before recovery plus unrecovered cost of investment during the year, that is that year, over the cash inflow during that year. Good. And I said when you are given unequal cash inflow, the first thing you do is to calculate your accumulated cash inflow. So we need another table where we have our cash inflow and then we have accumulated, or sometimes we call it cumulative. Accumulated cash inflow. All right. So here, what do we have here? We have year 1, we have year 2, and then we have year 3. All right. So we have 200 Ghana cedis, 400 Ghana cedis, 600 Ghana cedis. Remember, we want to, this is our initial investment. So we want to recover this 10,000. 10,000. All right. So we add. The first one is 200 cedis. It's like you add this to the first one. Since there's no amount here, we just have our 200. Then our accumulated cash inflow for the second year is going to be 200 plus 400, which is 600. Or you can equally add this to this. Then you have 600. While keeping in mind the 10,000. You must not exceed 10,000. Because we are only recovering what? 10,000. All right, so 600. So why do you know? So we say 600, meaning we have 400 more to recover. All right. Now, so before you add, you need to do 1 or 2 analysis. You see, if I add this 600 to this 600, that is, if I add 1, 2, 3, it's going to give me 1,200, which does not make sense because we cannot write 1,200 here. Because we want to recover 10,000. And you know, 12,000. Let me see. This figure here is supposed to be 1,000, not 10,000. 1,000. All right, good. So this 1,200 does not make sense because it's more than this 1,000 Ghana cedis. So what do we do here? This is where we end our accumulated cash inflow, because we need extra 400, and that 400 is in this 600 cedis. That is why we say our payback period is going to be a year before recovery. So we've been able to recover year 1 and year 2. So it's going to be 2 plus unrecovered cost. Remember, the unrecovered cost is your initial cost of investment, which is 1,000, minus, what do we call it? 600. This the amount we have recovered so far. Then we divide by the cash inflow during that year. We are looking at year 3. So during that year, that is the 600 we are talking about here. This 600. So we have uh, 400 because 1000 minus, what do you call it? 6,000 minus 600 will give you 400. And we have our 400 divided by 600. So we have our 400 divided by our 600, which will give us 2 over 3. 2 over 3. So 2 over 3 plus 2 will give us, let's say, 8 over 3. In decimals, we say 2.666. We can leave our answer in mixed fraction. Mixed fraction is going to give us 2 whole number, 2 over what? 3 years. Mathematically, we can express this one as, you see the 2 years, the whole number is 2 years, and then the 2 over 3 is our month. So we convert this one to month by multiplying by 12. 3 goes here, 1 goes here, 4, 4 to 8, meaning 2 years, 8 months. You can equally leave your answer in decimals, which is 2.66666 years. That is 67 what? Years. So this can be written as our final what answer. What does it mean? It means it will take 2 years, 8 months to recover the investment, the initial investment cost. That is what it means for this question. Good. All right, so our next investment technique, the first one we did the payback period. So we are looking at the next investment technique organization can use to determine whether or not to invest in a particular project. We call it the discounted payback period. And remember in our previous lesson where we were doing discounting and compounding, we said something. We said compounding is used to calculate for future value of cash. And then we said discounting is used to calculate the present value of what? Cash. And we said the present value is the initial amount you are what? Putting in and what? Investment. That's the current amount. Sika the investment in. That is the present value of that what? Particular investment. All right. Now, when you are given a question and you are asked to calculate the discounted payback, the moment you see discounted, meaning we are going to use, so we say discounted payback uses present value. That is our PV in calculation. And remember we said our present value is equal to future value over 1 plus r raised to the power n. We've done this already where we said the present value, your future value will be given. That's the future cash inflow. And then your r is your r is always expressed in percentage. And then your n is the number of what? Years or period. That is it. Now, when you are given a discounted payback period for unsteady or unequal cash inflow, remember, we have all learned how to calculate for payback period when we are given unsteady or unequal cash inflow. And we said it's the year before you recover that particular investment plus the unrecovered what cost over the cash inflow during that particular what period. That is what we said. It's the same thing we are going to use here. Just that once you see a discounted payback period, we need to formulate another what table where we are going to calculate the present value of each cash what inflow. So let's consider 1 or 2 examples so that we understand what I'm trying to say here. Okay, now let's look at this example. Let's say we have a table here with an initial investment of negative. So these are the informations given. We have R, that is the rate, giving us 10%. And then we have, let's say, our year and cash flow. We have year 1, we have year 2, we have year 3, and then we have year 4. So we have here as 200, we have here as 400, we have here as 700, and we have here as 300. And the question is, calculate the discounted payback period. Calculate the discounted payback period. So you see, these are the question will be given. Now, you will see that we have some information given. Negative 1,000, and I said earlier on, when you see negative, meaning this is the amount of money that we are giving out. That is the amount of money we want to invest. And then the rate we are expecting on the returns is 10%. There is a difference between calculate payback period. If we were asked to calculate the payback period, we are going to calculate, and then we are not going to take this rate into consideration. But because we have calculated discounted payback period, step 1, the first thing you have to do is to calculate the present value of this year 1, present value of year 2 cash, present value of year 3 cash inflow, because these are future values. In the future, the amount of money that you are going to receive when you decide to invest 1,000 Ghana cedis. So we need to calculate the present value of these figures. So we create another table. That is the first step. Solution. So our step 1, we have our cash flow. Then we call it the discounted cash flow. That is using our present value, PV, discounted cash flow. So in a question where they provide you with a table, no has say a discounted cash flow, you are not going to do what I'm doing here. But here, since we are the question did not give us a discounted cash flow, but only the cash flow, we need to find a discounted cash flow, because we are looking at discounted payback period to recover this 1,000 Ghana cedis. Now we have year 1, we have our year 2, year 3, year 4. That is it. So in our year 1, we have 3,000 cedis, 7,000 cedis, 400 cedis, 200 cedis. So how do we calculate our present value? Remember, so we have this calculation of our present value, PV. Calculation of our present value. That is our discounted present value. And we said our present value for year 1 is future value over 1 plus r raised to the power n. So what is the future value for year 1? 200 Ghana cedis. Remember, r is 10%, and when we say 10%, meaning 10 over 100, that is 1 over 10, so which is 0.1. So this is 0.1 raised to the power n, where n is the number of year, which is 1 year. So we can say 200 over 1 plus 0.1 is 1.1, or raised to the power 1. So you just go to your calculator, 200 divided by 1.1, raised to the power 1 is the same 1.1. So, and that will give us 181.81. So let's say 0.8. So to the nearest whole number, we can say 182, because this 8 is more than 4. So if it's more than 4, you add 1 to this. If it's less than 4, then you maintain the 181. So that is it. So meaning we have here as 182. Then we do for present value for year 2. Future value over 1 plus r raised to the power n. So here we have 400, 1 plus 0.1 raised to the power 2 in that order. So here we have 400 over 1.1 square. So on our calculator, we have 400 divided. So we bracket open 1.1, bracket close, then raised to the power 2. And that will give us 330.57. You know, 330.57 to the nearest whole number is like 331. 331. So we have here 331. So 331. Then we look at the present value for year 3. So we are using same approach. The future value, which is 700 over 1 plus 0.1 raised to the power n, where n is the third year. So we have 700, 1.1 raised to the power what? 3. All right. So same approach. 700 divided by bracket open, 1.1 bracket close, raised to the power 3. And that will give us 525.9. So to the nearest whole number, we add 1 to this. 526. So that is 526. Then we have PV for year 4. So it's going to be 300 over 1 plus 0.1 raised to the power 4. So we have 300 over 1.1 raised to the power 4. So same approach. We have here 300 bracket open 1.1 bracket open bracket close raised to the power 4, and that will give us 204.9, which is 205. So here we have here as 205. So you see, after you are done with this calculation, you create another table where we are going to calculate the accumulated discounted cash flow. And we've done that already, where we are going to add these numbers until we recover this 1,000. That is it. So it's like the table we are going to create. We have, let's say, year 1. Now we have our discounted cash flow. That is what we were looking for. And then we have here accumulated discounted cash flow in that order. Into year 1, year 2, year 3, and then year 4. Remember, year 1, we had 182. Here we have 331, 526, 5 in that order. Simple as that. So we are going to look for cumulative. So we just add. So this will give us 182. Then we have 182 plus 331 will give us 513. Remember, we want to recover 1,000 Ghana cedis. So we're calculating here and making sure say n cover 1,000. Okay. Now you see where we are now. This 513. Let's add 513 to 526. It is going to give us 1,039. And 1,039 is more than this 1,000 cedis. So meaning we end our calculation here. We want to recover 1,000 cedis. You can recover 513. Until the remainder no wahase. So we now come and write our formula. Discounted payback, which is just the same as the payback, just that the approach is 1, the year before recovery. Year before recovery plus unrecovered cost, then plus our cash inflow. We've done this already. That is why I'm writing it in brief. If you follow the first video that we did. So here, our discounted payback, a year before recovery, we've been able to recover year 1 and year 2. So we have 2 plus where unrecovered cost. We want to recover 1,000 Ghana cedis, but we've been able to recover 513. Then we divide by this year. The remaining should be recovered from this 526. So 526. So we have 2 plus. We have our 1,000 minus 513. And that will give you 4,000 minus 513 will give us 1,000 minus 513 will give us 487. So 487 divided by 526. 487 divided by 526 plus 2. And that will give us 2.9 years. So what does it mean? It means it will take 2.9 years to recover the initial cost of investments, that is the 1,000 Ghana world cedis. So this is the end of our lesson. I am going to put a question on the board. You will try your hands on it and then you send me your feedback.